I just come from upstairs sitting there with Rosie. And I looked at something concerning the fog and how, there's so many theories going around concerning the fog, saying it's the drones that release the fog in the air and a mist and things like that. There's particulates in the fog, and Fauci Fauci was tied into it and stuff. But I come up here and I typed in this right here word, the sentence, the plan to kill 90% of the population on Earth with the fog. So I thought, well, I'm just going to come up here and I typed this in. I literally came upstairs and that popped up. And we're going to look at that. We are going to look at this. Wow. Free minds. To save the planet, kill 90% of the people off, says the UT ecologist. Wow. Listen to this. At first, I thought someone was making a really stupid April Fool's joke, but apparently it is true that the Texas Distinguished Scientist of 2006, University of Texas ecologist Eric Pianka, told a meeting of the Texas Academy of Science that 90% of his fellow human beings must die in order to save the planet. A very disturbed Forrest M. Mims III, chairman of the Environmental Science section of the Texas Academy of Science, writing at the Citizen Science, reported, wow, you all, this is wild. Hello, Gusta's channel in Belgium. Professor Pianka said, the Earth as we know it will not survive without drastic measures. Then, and without presenting any data to justify the number, he asserted that only feasible solution to saving the Earth is to reduce the population to 10% of the present number. He then showed solutions for reducing the world's population in the form of a slide depicting the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. Oh my goodness gracious. War and famine would not do, he explained. Instead, disease offered the most efficient and fastest way to kill billions that must soon die if the population crisis is to be solved. If you're just tuning in, I was reading something about the fog and the particulates in it and Mr. Fauci and all these theories that are out there. And I thought I remember Elon Musk said a lot of people were going to die very soon, a certain percentage. So I came up here and I typed in 90%. And this is what popped open. Hello, Melissa. So I'm going to read what he said. Pianka then displayed a slide. This is, wow, this is the minds of people. Pianka then displayed, let me just do this, a slide showing rows of human skulls, one of which had red lights flashing from its eye sockets. AIDS is not an efficient killer, he explained, because it is too slow. His favorite candidate for eliminating 90% of the world population is airborne Ebola. Ebola restin, because it is both highly lethal and it kills in days instead of years. However, Professor Pianka did not mention that Ebola victims die a slow and torturous death as the virus initiates a cascade of biological calamities inside the victim that eventually liquefy their internal organs. Oh my gosh, you all. Oh, the scientists came up with this. This is, oh my gosh. It makes me cold. It gives me chills down my arm. I was down there with Rosie. I was getting hot, so I took my shoes off. And now I come up here and I'm getting cold. This is scientists' plan to kill 90% of the people on Earth. Yes. After praising, okay, so listen to this. So, after praising the Ebola virus for its efficiency at killing, Pianka paused. He leaned over the lectern. He looked at us and carefully said, "We've got airborne 90% mortality in humans. Killing humans." Think about that. The Siguan Text Gazette Enterprise also reported another recent doomsday talk by Pianka. A University of Texas professor says the earth would be better off with 90% of the human population dead. Well, then perhaps you might want volunteer to be part of that 90%. You all, this is from 2006. Can you believe that? They were already talking about killing off 90% of the population on earth. Every one of you, listen to that. Every one of you who gets to survive has to bury 9. Eric Pianka cautioned students and guests at St. Edward's University on Friday. What a morbid lecture. Pianka's words are part of what he calls his doomsday talk. A 45-minute presentation outlining humanity's ecological misdeeds and Pianka's predictions about how nature, or perhaps humans themselves, will exterminate all but a fraction of civilization. Listen. Oh my gosh. It just popped up on here when I wrote in 90% of the population. And this is from 2006, May the 3rd, or April the 3rd of 2006. Wow. Though his statements are admittedly bold, he's not without abundant advocates. But what may set this revered biologist apart from the other doomsday soothsayers is this: humanity's collapse is a notion that he embraces. Oh, he sounds like a shape-shifting reptilian. Oh my gosh. Indeed. Indeed, his words deal very literally on a life and death scale. Yet he smiles and he jokes candidly throughout the lecture, disseminating a message of many would call morbid. Pianka's warnings are centered upon the awareness rather than fear. This is really an exciting time, he said Friday, amid warnings of apocalypse, destruction, and disease. Only minutes earlier, he declared death. This is what awaits us all, death, reflecting on the so-called ancient Chinese curse. May you live in interesting times. He wore surprisingly a smile. Y'all, I'm reading something that some scientist wrote. That's right, they're gone. When those Georgia Guidestones got struck by lightning, and some of them were damaged, and then they were ultimately destroyed, I thought, all right, that means this is the beginning of the end. That's what I felt within my spirit. Oh, this is really symbolic. Now the end is near. Did you feel that too? The end is near. This is some kind of guy, this biologist. He said 90% needs to die. All right. So what's at the heart of Dr. Pianka's claim? 6.5 billion humans is too many. In his estimation, we've grown fat, apathetic, and miserable, all the while leaving the planet parched. You know what he sounds like? He sounds like a global elite, deep state entity is what he sounds like, who doesn't like human beings. There is not even an ounce of empathy, sympathy, compassion, or anything in it. And he smiles. He loves it. He wants it. He sounds like an invasive species on this earth that wants to take over the earth by eliminating humans. Hey there, Seasons. Yeah. Yes, look at Claus Schwab. In his estimation, okay, that's what he said, the solution, a 90% reduction. That's 5.8 billion lives. Lives, he said, are turning the planet into a fat human biomass. He points to an 85% swell in the population during the last 25 years and insists civilization is on the brink of its downfall, likely at the hand of widespread disease. Disease will control the scourge of humanity, Pianka said. We're looking forward to a huge collapse. Oh my gosh, you all, these are the mindsets pushing probably what has truly pushed all of this stuff forward. Yes. Professor, listen to this. Professor Pianka is apparently a brilliant herpetologist, but like brilliant Stanford University entomologist Paul Ehrlich, who wrote The Population Bomb. Now, I've heard of him nearly 40 years ago. He is completely ignorant of economics and demography. Pianka might start alleviating his ignorance by reading some of the analysis by Jesse Azabul, the head of the Human Environment Program at Rockefeller University. Relying on human creativity and wealth creation, Azabul foresees the 21st century as the beginning of the great restoration of the natural environment. I'm reading an article from 2006 where this scientist in Texas said we need to kill 90% of the population on Earth to save the Earth. What they said. Admittingly, predicting a bright future for humanity and the planet has never made anybody rich or famous, but at least such forecasters have the satisfaction of knowing that they are right. Listen to that. They're right. This literally seems to be written. Let me see this person. 2 people are dead and 19 more hurt after a small plane. It's like this. University, Texas, Eric Pianka. Let's see what Eric Pianka looks like. I want to see Eric Pianka. Eric Pianka. Are we going to do it? An American biologist. We just need to kill 90% of the population on Earth, he said. Dr. Eric Pianka. The Lizard Man. The Lizard Man. Just kill him off. Oh my goodness. The Lizard Man speaks. You know, what if he truly was a shape-shifting reptilian? He very well could have been. The badass of the week, is that's what they called him. That's right there. I think he's gone. Yeah, he's gone. He wanted to save the earth by killing off 90 billion people on the earth. Wow. You read the population boom started as the fact that the world would end in the 90s, 90% depopulation. He said the world would end in 2000, and he was an LIAR, straight from the pits of hell, right? Straight from the pits of hell. Wow, I cannot believe that. This sounds so unloving. Look at this. A conspiracy theory 3 years ago that 90% of the world's population will be killed off spreads widely on the pandemic fears. Well, he said the only way to do it is through an Ebola something. Oh my gosh. Then look at all of this. Then here it is. If a virus killed 90% of the population, what would happen to our water, our electric, and our internet systems? The Earth system impacts the European arrival and the Great what? European epidemics removed 90% of the indigenous population over the next century. The government wiped out 90% of humanity to secretly what? Reduce the Earth's population. Well, how long ago was that? Yes, the climate crisis may wipe out 6 billion people. Paris Climate Agreement, everything you need to know. The conspiracy, chaos, Corona bill, and the UN. You all, there's some kind of truth coming on. Oh my gosh. Yeah. I can ring my bell. I can ring my bell. We're having a serious conversation here. We are. And we got to talk of this this fog, and how these people have these symptoms. They can't sleep. They got headaches. They got respiratory illnesses and things like that. Let me read this right here. Oh my gosh. It's just terrible what Rose. Oh, I don't even want to look at it. Look like a big old worm on here. It does look like a big old worm on here. Ebola is a rare but deadly viral disease that can cause severe bleeding and organ damage. It's caused by the Ebola virus, which is found primarily in sub-Saharan Africa. The disease is also known as the Ebola virus disease, or hemorrhagic fever. It includes fever, muscle aches, headaches, sore throat, diarrhea, vomiting, rash, decreased liver and kidney function. Symptoms appear 2 to 21 days after exposure to the virus. Transmission of Ebola is spread through close contact with the bodily fluids of an infected person or animal, such as broken skin or mucous membranes. It can also spread through contact with objects that have been contaminated with bodily fluids of an infected person. Treatment for Ebola is a supportive hospital care. The FDA has approved several treatments, including vaccines and monoclonal antibodies. The largest Ebola outbreak date was at West Africa from 2014 to 2016. Probably a dry run. With more than 28,600 cases reported. Other outbreaks have occurred in the Democratic Republic of the Congo, Gabon, Uganda, and South Africa. Wasn't those the main places where Mr. Gates liked to do his vaccines? Yes, got your Rita, honey, you did. Yeah. Yeah. For medical advice and diagnosis, you need to consult a professional. This is informational purposes only. That was generative AI, which is experimental, when it was speaking about that. That's not nice. It isn't Africa. Let me see. Ebola. Let's see this. Listen to this. The fog of war. The fog of war has been used to simulate uncertainty and misreporting in Ebola forecasting challenges. For example, in one challenge, the information in situation reports was intentionally inaccurate to reflect the uncertainty and misreporting that can occur during a war. Fog has also delayed the delivery of Ebola vaccines. For example, in 2021, the fog disrupted flights to Conakry, Guinea, which delayed the delivery of the Ebola vaccines to the capital. Ebola is a virus that causes severe inflammation and tissue damage throughout the body. It's known as a hemorrhagic fever because it can cause internal bleeding. It was discovered in 76 in Democratic Republic of the Congo, primarily found in the sub-Saharan Africa. Could fog disinfectant machines help fight the spread of what? They bought 5 foggers to disinfect rooms, and they found that they cut the transmission rate by more than a half. What stopped the Ebola outbreak? What stopped it? I want to know about the fog. The fog. The fog. The fog. And the viruses. And viruses. Virus. Now, I don't want to talk about brain fog. I want to talk about the outdoor fog. No, see, it's all they got is the brain fog. Hello. It's smart dust already, old tech. Yeah. The fog. Mysterious. Mysterious. Let's write it in again. Mysterious fog. And deadly disease. I'm writing something. Well, mysterious dense fog engulfs communities in U.S. and Canada. Well, I was watching a video, and this fog was just settling, like it looked like a great big roll cloud, but it was a roll cloud of fog settling. Where was it? In New York City or something, or Manhattan? Just there, just sitting there like that. It's said to have chemical-like odors. Does it have a chemical odor? Because people are saying it has it. Americans are alarmed. See where they're already saying it's a chemical fog. Look at this Yahoo. Americans alarmed by chemical fog spreading across. It's a thick blanket, lingering blanket of fog has left people sick, many experiencing sudden cold or flu-like symptoms. Mysterious fog sweeping U.S. sparks a bioweapon fears. It's reports of burning chemical smell blanketing their community. Look, the Times now. Mysterious fog for humans. Especially America. Seasons you hope what is not true. Shows one breaking into a cell. The fog was hydrochlorine and ivermectin to heal the people. Well, that would be good, Rita, if it had that on there. Because didn't they spray that in Africa for 10 years and they cured the river blindness? And the other thing, it was coming from the larvae of the black fly. You think the fog is just a result from cloud seeding and brewing storms a lot? That's one theory. Yeah. Moses and a cloud. You never get notified when you come on. Well, don't be surprised because a lot of people, I would say, well, let me tell you something. When I look at the analytics of this channel on my live stream, 80 to 90% of the people who watch my videos they got on here because they were browsing the internet. Maybe 10% comes from notification. That's how it's been on this channel for years, for some strange reason. I'm just telling you the truth. That's according to the analytics. I could pull up videos and you could see where the majority of the traffic came from. It was browsing and not notifications. As it is right now, the algorithm on YouTube, the Google algorithm, what the algorithm does, since it's an intelligent thing, it looks at what you have been looking at on the internet, what your search history is, what you've been interested in, what you talk about, and it customizes the alerts according to what you have been talking about. So like me doing a video like this, if you ain't been looking at videos like this, if you've been looking at different types of videos or things, it's not going to give you a notification. I can speak on behalf of that. At least that's how it works. Now, if you were watching a bunch of cat videos and stuff, and I started doing a video with Rosie, and I had Rosie and the cat on there, the algorithm would recommend this video and it would alert you. Yeah. Radiation poisoning. Well, there's a lot of symptoms that people are getting. And a lot of people have itchy eyes too. I know at times in Arizona, when Polly Honey is, even if she steps outside, I mean, she can feel it before she even steps outside. She can look in the sky. And when she sees the sky start getting sprayed, she can sense it from the inside, and her eyes start itching and tearing up and stuff. And it really affects her terribly. So she has to stay in the house a lot. There is something more. Some people are more affected by what's in the sky than others. And the itchy eye things and runny nose and respiratory thing is very serious, and it's real. People do get affected like that when they go outside. Oh, Charity, that's interesting. Yeah. Well, my husband got a notification for a video that I did on the Facebook a day later. He said, "Oh, you just did a live video?" I said, "No, Jonathan, that was a day ago." He said, "Well, I'm just now getting notified." And the same thing with the YouTube also. Your face felt really hot. They're trying to kill us. Well, according to that person, that scientist, he said you need to kill 90% of the population on Earth. And he was smiling. He thought it was a great idea. He did. And he recommended disease. And he used the symbolism of the 4 horsemen. He said that's what you need, the 4 horsemen to kill the people off. He did. Look at that. UT ecologist. He was smiling. He was so happy. He loved it. He loved his doomsday talk. And he had other advocates with him. I wonder if Bill Gates was one of his advocates. Well, let me top it in. Eric Pianka. Oh, my nose is tickling on this side. They don't like me talk. Eric Pianka and Bill Gates. Let me see this. Eric Pianka and Evolutionary Ecology by Eric R. Pianka, Condition Like New, and Bill Gates, Big Pharma, The Global War on Democracy. Ted Turner, Bill Gates, Eric Pianka, they can't wait to kill you with their bioweapons. The evolutionary, he truly did say that in a lecture. Latitudinal gradients in species diversity. The Center for Preservation of Humanity. Keeping cool. Here is what it says, a spokesman for Gates Fund Breakthrough, Eric Pianka. No, we want to see. Did he get a grant There was a blizzard in 1993. Keeping it cool. A secular scientist warned about a coming catastrophe in the form of a climate change, global warming, or an ice age. The Bible tells us that a once never to be repeated catastrophic event, the flood, caused the ice age. We don't need to panic over non-catastrophic relativity, slow increase in atmospheric carbon dioxide to bring about another scenario catastrophe similar. In fact, a catastrophe is looming, but it's going to be in the Great Tribulation, the second coming, and the judgment. The scoffers. How did I get in this? I wanted to see if it was Bill Gates starts up tackling cow burps and farts. That's disgusting. A spokesperson for Gates Fund Energy Ventures, which led to 12 million investment round about the cows. Oh, so let me see this. The article concludes with this. Some countries are exploring legislation to reduce methane emissions from livestock. In October, the New Zealand government announced plans to tax the farmers for their animals' burps to incentivize them to reduce the emissions. So, to prevent this catastrophe that is looming over us, these scoffers want to use genetic engineering, population control, how many children you have, tax climate change skeptics, deniers, and even kill much of the human population. In 2006, Eric Pianka, the herpetologist from University of Texas, suggested killing 90% of the human population. And sadly, in 2006, some evangelicals even signed a document under the Evangelical Climate Initiative titled Climate Change, an Evangelical Call to Action. And you'd be surprised who all signed it. Who signed that? Who signed it? We want to know who signed it. Oh, well, come on, y'all. We got to find out who signed this. Who signed the Evangelical Climate Initiative, a call to action? They can do it. We got to look it up. I gotta find out who signed this. Who signed this climate change, a call to? Well, I know one probably signed it. Al Gore. Who signed it? S. You're going to look at it. I want to see who signed it. The National Association, the Center for Health and Global Environment at Harvard Medical School, evangelical Christian leaders come together. They agreed that the earth is seriously imperiled by human behavior. It was affecting the poorest of the poor. I want to know. 86 evangelical leaders and the presidents of 39 evangelical colleges signed it. Wow. Who signed it? I'd like to know who signed it. Do you think we'll ever know who signed it? Is this a Q channel? No, it's not. We're all over the place. We talk about many different subjects on here. Okay. Oh, look at this. The Cornwall Alliance, an open letter to the signers of the climate change and evangelical call to action. The world is presently global warming. It's the humans. Let's see. A call for truth. Organization affiliations are for identification only and do not imply their endorsement. These are the endorsers of A Call to Truth, Prudence, and Protection of the Poor, an evangelical response to global warming, updated April the 15th of 2009. Organizational affiliations are for identification only and do not imply the organizational endorsement. Well, I think I want to look at them. I really do. Yes, look at them. So these are just for information. Adele Abadir, Grand Rapids, Michigan. Sheila Parakaber Abraham. Michael Aldrich, Sierra, Sonora, California. Randy Alcorn, Greg Allison, Southern Baptist Theological Seminary, William L. Anderson, Professor, Economics, Frostburg State University, Maryland, Reverend Bruce Baxnetto, PhD, Canada, co-pastor, Geneva Reformed Presbyterian Baptist Church, Ted Bayer, Christian Film Television, Howard Ball, Crusade for Christ, Doug Bando, David Barton, Michael Bauman. I never heard these people before. Calvin, Peggy, Paul, Tennessee, Fellowship International, Reverends Borland. You can slow this down and look at it yourself. These are the signers of all of this. They signed to make it happen. Wow. They did it. Oh my gosh, there's more of them. I can't say all their names. Wayland Baptist University, Baptist Church Trinity Reform. Wow. It's really strange. Louisville, Kentucky. That's right across the river from me. Russell D. Moore, PhD, Senior Vice President for Academic Administration, Dean of School of Theology, Southern Baptist Theological Seminary, Executive Director, Carl F. H. Henry, Institute for Evangelical Engagement in Louisville, Kentucky. Tennessee, look at these. Maryland, Tennessee, Colorado, Uganda. Fort Lauderdale has a lot. Hebron, Kentucky. Look at that. The rebirth of Marxism, fascism. Scottsdale and his pastor, Gary Nelson, senior pastor of Scottsville Vineyard Christian Fellowship, Scottsdale, Arizona. Let me do this for a second. I'm going to take a screenshot. I'd encourage you all to pause it. You might see people on here that you know. You really might. That's why I'm going slow. I wonder if when they signed it, they got grants or they got money or they got incentives. Theological seminary schools. Bonnie Ricks, Tennessee. Geneva, Beaver Falls, Pennsylvania, Canada, Washington, D.C. Wow. Let me look on the other side, you all. Just bear with me. I'm like, look at this. I like to scan it. If I go like this. Those look like a lot of people, doesn't it? Gina, honey, you're taking too long. That's just too bad. I want to see all of this. I never knew that they signed off on this. I really didn't. I never heard of this before. You can go back and you can see it yourself. We're almost at the bottom, y'all. You're doing great. You just got to go to get them on here to document it. Hmm. We're almost done. Whoo! Country boy, honey. That was the signers and the co-signers of this right here. The endorsers of the Call to Truth, Prudence, and Protection of the Poor, and an evangelical response to global warming. Organizational affiliations are for identification, often only. Don't do that. It's an open letter. Cornwall Alliance. The open letter to the signers of this right here. Sustainable Christian Today. Moyers on American Citizens class. Oh my gosh. It's wild. Okay. So, of course, he got criticized for talking of that. Eric Roger Pianka, 1939 to 2022, Bulletin of the Ecological Society of America, Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, 2015-2018, Molecular Epidemiology. Let's see. Was he part of that? I wonder if he was. You think he was? I just want to remind people sometimes, 90% of the time, I'm not looking at the comments. I do not want no personalized ads, and I don't want no analytic data recorded. Well, it doesn't matter because it's just going to do what it wants to anyhow. The School of Biodiversity, One Health and Veterinary Medicine. Oh, well, I guess I didn't get to go there. They had grants and stuff. I'm not looking at it no more, you all. I'm not. How did I get to that? I was looking at a video someone sent me, just a little small video, and they were talking about the fog and the particulates in it, and people getting sick in the area where the fog was, and then I remember Elon Musk said somebody like so much percentage of the human population was going to die. I heard that like last week from somebody, and then I come up here and I thought, I just typed in the word, the plan to kill 90% of the population on Earth with the fog. And then that's the very first thing that came up. And he was so happy. So happy. He sounded like a reptilian, a species that wanted to take over the Earth. Yeah. Yeah, they are. We have to have some good, strong people inside as well. You're absolutely right, Mitzi. I totally agree. You have to have some type of a balance. I believe it. I really do. It seems rigged and skewed, but there's things happening behind the scene that are good. There are. There is a silver lining in the end. We may not be able to see it right now, but there is a silver lining. Elion, Inky, Enlil. All the strong people aren't a part of what's going on, I guess. Yeah, there's let me just say this. There are so many strong people on this earth who are not a part of what's going on, but they know what's going on and they'll have nothing to do with it. But you may have some that are like a double agent. They get inside there and they find out what's going on. Yeah. Happy birthday. The blockchain leads to CBDCs, the cashless. Well, if you grew up in church or something, you always heard that one day there would be a cashless society. And if you're like some others who's always thought that it would be a chip, then yeah, I've always felt that it would be a chip in your hand or your forehead, and it'll have a mark on the forehead or in the hand. Some say it would be an invisible mark, but without it, whatever it is, without it, you will not be able to buy or sell according to the Bible. You won't. You got to have it. But then what happens to those who took the mark? Painful boils break out on them who took the mark. Um, the real ones got hung. Double agents, you all. That's right, Al Honey. Um, yeah, I remember hearing about that. I did. Seasons. Well, there's a lot of fact checking going on. We are ready for a great reset. You know what? Where is that book? I went into a store one day. I don't know what happened to the book, but it had Trump on the front cover. I wonder what it looked like. Had him on the Trump cover, and it was talking about Russia. It had Putin on it. It had Russia on it. I know Russia does not like, Putin does not like the immorality that is occurring inside America at all. He doesn't like it. Well, let me look. Trying to see if I can see it. Okay, hold on. Okay, I found it. He doesn't like it. I remember seeing him give a speech one time, and he was speaking about it. Yeah. No, I didn't want to bring out Jesse Ventura. I don't. He showed up at the thrift store one day too. Jesse Ventura. Just think he became governor. Oh my gosh. What? Oh well. I don't know what this was. Okay, you're supposed to cherish the spirit of the people and keep alive their attention and do not be too severe upon their errors, but reclaim them by enlightening them. Thomas Jefferson. Did you read that, Gina? No, I'm not a book reader. I'm not. Sometimes I'm a book reader. I can't find the book that I had, so I'm not going to show it to you. I'm getting tired. Yeah. You remembered him? You used to watch his conspiracy ones? Yeah. Yes, lots of mysterious things with him. I think downstairs on a bookshelf, that book of Trump must be down there. Hold on. Let's look up here. Well, I can't find it. That'd get me in trouble too, probably, if I was to look at it. If anything will ever be in the snow, well, I shine my flashlight out there with my cell phone, and it looked like a bunch of orbs and stuff. Actually, it looked like a bunch of plasma rods. I don't know if the Pharisees. Oh, okay. Did the Pharisees become the orthodoxy? Well, if you think about that scripture with their flowing robes, they think that they will be less heard because of their long prayers and their flowing robes. That's what it said. Long prayers and flowing robes. Long prayers and flowing robes. Is that why you said that? Beware of the scribes. They like to walk around in long robes, and they love greetings at the marketplaces, the chief seats in the synagogues, and the places of honor at the banquets. Is that why you said that? The lengthy prayers. When you pray, use not vain repetitions as the heathen do, for they think they shall be heard for their much speaking. But not ye therefore like to them, for your Father knows what things you have need of before you even ask. Yeah, they like to walk around in long robes. And who's to say what portals the Pope opened up before Christmas? Don't know, but I think he did a St. Mary's today. Is he? Yeah. Yeah, they did do it. They did. The final door was opened today. And on the 28th of December of 2025, 5 doors will be closed. And then there's another door that will be closed in 2026, the last door, some kind of door. Raise your frequency, you all. You got to do it. They wanted to kill off 90% of the people, that professor. It's like the mysterious fog. Mysterious fog. You see the images of the fog all around the place. The great smog of London. The fog right here. The fog, Sonora fog. The mysterious something in France. Your brain fog. The fog right there. The fog's right here to wipe out mosquitoes. Yeah. Oh, wow, that's interesting. Yeah. If your frequency gets any higher, you're going to bounce right out of here. That's wonderful, Laura. You might as well bounce right out of here into another room if you can, a better place. I'm sure there are, but you won't see that better place until it's time for you to see that better place. Yeah. Country boy, I just don't know. Oh, okay. Well, the power's out in Kentucky. Is the power out where you're all at? Yeah. Well, I'm going to go. And with that being said, hello, wherever you are in any part of the world. Hello, from my heart to yours. Get your matches ready. Get your lighters ready. Get your candles ready, your flashlights. Yeah. Have a wonderful rest of your evening. Thank you, moderators. I mean, it's still icy out here. Love you.